everybody, I'm back again. Okay, so it's cycle day 22. So this is cycle 2, day 22. I am now 8 days post IUI, and it's also 8 days post ovulation, because if you watched the previous video, you already know that I feel like I ovulated the early morning, the day of my IUI. So my timing is very different from the previous IUI where I ovulated, where I feel like I ovulated 2 days later. All right, so let me just say that this entire cycle from day 1 has been completely different than any other cycle. Before, I was trying to conceive to my first cycle, even up to now, totally different. To start, when I started my cycle, and I'm probably mentioned this already in a previous video, that usually you go through a medicated cycle, you get your period, and it's expected for it to be heavy. Mine was light. It was still 3 days, but it was extremely light. That was number 1. Number 2, even when I came off of the progesterone, I continued to chart and do my basal temperatures. So even when I came off of the progesterone, my temperature never dropped. I didn't get a dip right before my period. Nothing. It never dropped. So that was a little weird. But my period did come on 2 days after stopping the progesterone, which was what was expected. Okay. So here's where it gets a little funny. So, I had my IUI, that was cycle day 14. And I didn't start progesterone again until 2 days after that. Now, considering that I felt like I ovulated sometime overnight, when I took my basal temp that morning, it was slightly elevated, but not like a spike. But I was glad, because I wanted to see if I was going to get the thermal shift that I was getting prior to doing medicated cycles, especially since I had 2 nights before I started the progesterone. So my IUI was on Wednesday, and I wasn't going to start the progesterone until Friday night. So I should have seen the slightly elevated temp on Wednesday morning, an elevated temp on Thursday, and an elevated temp on Friday morning. Unfortunately, I got a slightly elevated temp on Thursday morning, and then Friday morning my temp dropped like more than half a degree. So don't know what that's about. Especially since I totally feel like I ovulated. It certainly felt painful, like I was ovulating, but I didn't get the characteristic basal temp spike that you should get after ovulation. So that was weird. All right. So I take the progesterone on Friday, and then Saturday morning, I have the crazy spike. That's expected. You take progesterone, your basal temp spikes. Okay, so I have that. So after that spike, it actually started to go down after that. So I think maybe it stayed up just a little bit, but then it around 6 days post IUI, it took a dip. So I guess if you think about it, I didn't start the progesterone until 2 days. So the basal temp would have been on the 3rd day post IUI. And then it sort of stayed up there on day 5, but on day 6, it plummeted back to normal. Now, that's not outrageous for my charts, because on every one of my charts, since I started charting, my basal temp takes a dip on 6 days post IUI. Every single one of them. Now, last cycle, it took a dip. It stayed down for another day, and then it spiked back up. In my normal cycle with no hormones, it took a dip, spiked back up, but it was pretty erratic, just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So what has me a little worried, or I guess what made me a little optimistic early on, is it took a dip, and then it went slightly lower, day 7, and today was day 8, and it went slightly lower again. So this is now uncharacteristic. However, the slight low is still within the range of normal with hormones. Since I did the trigger, I have to manually do my cover line. So I'm using a fertility friend, and I don't get the crosshairs automatically because I take the progesterone before it can determine or detect ovulation. So I just kind of have to fudge it, right? So I've been using the same cover line as my cycle right before, which didn't have hormones. So I've been using that same cover line. I don't know why my temps have continued to stay down and not go back up like the progesterone spike. I feel like day 6 is around implantation time, so maybe this is implantation dip. Hopefully, I don't know. I have looked at other charts, and on the other charts, some women take an implantation dip. It's one dip down and then back up. I've seen other charts where women were pregnant where it dipped, it stayed down for a few days, 5-6 days, and then it spiked up. I've seen some that took a dip, spiked up, took another dip, like way down low, below the cover line, and then back up, and they were pregnant. So I don't know what to make of it. Symptom-wise, I feel like the cycle is completely different. So from day 1, I've had slight bloat, achy, lower abdomen, pains and stuff. So I reviewed my symptoms because I've been keeping extra specific, actual notes about what I've been feeling. And mostly what I feel are, I almost want to say random pains, but I just say they occur randomly. But most of the pain that I feel in my lower abdomen are always in the same few places. So I've had some pain on the right side of my lower abdomen. I've had pain on the left side of my lower abdomen. But I continue to have pain every now and again on the left side. But the pain I feel now, I don't feel it on the right side anymore. It's now in the center of my lower abdomen. So I don't know what that means. I've had some slightly sensitive nipples, occasionally what I would call like stingy nipples, but that only lasts for, a few, I don't want to say moments or minutes, but it lasts a little bit and then done. I did have a first, and that is around cycle day 4. No, I'm sorry, because today's 8. So 7, 6. On cycle day 6, I noticed my boobs were heavy. I'm always looking at my boobs to see if I see any changes, because I know the areola darkening and the fuller boobs and all of that. And I'm always like looking for veins. And I'm a little high yellow, and you can see my veins like in my arms. You can clearly see my veins, but I've never really seen veins in my boobs. Well, not until cycle day 6. They felt a little heavy. I was in the bathroom where all the best lighting is, and I could see veins. Now, they were faint, but I could see them. Normally, you don't see anything. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can see veins in my boobs. What could this mean? What could this mean? So I was like totally excited about that. All right. But then, now, here's the other reason why I was totally excited about that. Because I'm I was trying to work, and I was trying to get some exercise in, and I had an early meeting. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get breakfast. So with all my work, when lunchtime came around, I didn't really have anything to eat. Sorry about that. I hit a button and the video stopped. But I didn't really have anything to eat. And so I was bad. I ordered Domino's. Now, I had pasta primavera, no onions, and I had the stuffed cheesy bread, right? Now, when it came, I didn't realize how hungry I was. So, I mean, just ravenous. Like, I could eat the salad, I could eat the bread, but I don't usually eat the entire stuffed cheesy bread. I ate the entire thing, and it's not that it, like, tasted extra scrumdiddlyumptious or anything like that. I was, like, hungry. Like, borderlining on hangry, okay? And I put that thing down so fast. I mean, the pasta went, and then I had cheesy bread left over, and I was just so hungry. And so, and I mean, it was dripping in butter. Ooh, it was so good. I didn't work out this day. I mean, it's not a day that I usually walk. This was Tuesday. So I was just like, man, the scale is not going to like me tomorrow. You know, I'm still working on my weight and stuff. So, for dinner, now mind you, that was kind of like my first like real meal. I had like a snack earlier, like a little Belvita, a packet of Belvita cookies and some water and stuff. And of course I take my vitamins, but I do that, every morning. So, had that for lunch. And then around dinner time, I usually have like a snack. And I had another pack of Belvita cookies with, some water, but I was tired. I had fatigue this entire time. Not crazy fatigue like my first IUI where I just was in bed for 2 days straight. Nothing like that, but I still had fatigue. So I guess I kind of laid down and watched TV, and before I knew it, I was falling asleep. And then I woke up and I was like, oh shoot, gotta do my progesterone. And then I took myself to bed. So I didn't have a real dinner. But my lunch was like chock full of salt. And what happens when you have salt? Well, you retain water. So when I got on the scale the next day, I was expecting to be a little up in the numbers. In fact, I was 1.2 pounds down. Now, considering that I ate bad, plenty of salt, should have been retaining water, didn't work out that day, like, at all. Sat on my behind all day because, well, I have a sit-down job. I work in IT. I have a sit-down job. I'm in front of the computer all day long and move very seldomly. I was not expecting to actually have weight loss. Like, I actually try and eat good on certain days and only lose, like, half a pound. So, I'm just like, how did I lose over a pound? So, that made me feel like, what is going on? Like, something must be burning those calories, right? Like, right? I don't know. It's all just been very weird. So I just felt like really optimistic with that. So, I've also had vivid dreams every single day since, well, pretty much every single day, even since before my IUI. So I can't really blame baby on my vivid dreams because I think the hormones are just kind of messing with my head or whatever. So ever since this cycle started, I've had like vivid dreams every single night. So I know that's definitely not pregnancy, but last cycle I had 3 in the entire 2 weeks. So don't know what that means. Maybe it just means my body is doing something else with the hormones. I don't know. So, what to make of all of this? I don't know. You know, I feel like the cycle is so different. I've had so many more aches and pains. Oh, I've even had pain like in my like sternum, like not even my sternum, but like above my sternum, like 'cause your sternum is like sort of below your breast. So this was like above the breast, but kind of more to the right. So kind of like right here, I've had like this pain, not really a burning, but like a sharp pain. So I mean, I don't know. I don't really get heartburn. It didn't feel like heartburn. What could it be? I don't know. And I got that pain multiple times. I've had instances of itchy side boob. I had this one point so far where I was itching and it felt like I was maybe having an allergic reaction to something. I was like itching on my arms, itching on my legs, but you know, that only went for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes or so, and then that dissipated. And then even the veins that I saw in my boobs, they were gone the next day. So again, I don't know. Could be something, could be absolutely nothing. Other than that, you know, right now, I think I feel the most bloat I felt in the entire 2-week wait so far. And that might just be due to bad things that I've been eating lately. You know, but, you know, I lost that pound and 1.2 pounds, and then I ate right the next day, lost another half pound. So, you know, I want to stick with the down train, whatever it is. If there is something else that's burning calories and it is a baby, great. I guess I'll know soon enough. I did get a little anxious now. I didn't want to test until 10 days. But I was curious about the Dollar Tree or like the dollar store cheapy pregnancy test. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought 5. They're this little assurance brand. And I was curious about how much they would pick up. So on 3 days post IUI, I did a test just to see if it would pick up my HCG trigger. And it did. It wasn't like a full... it wasn't like a full line, but it was definitely a line dark enough to see, more like a half line. So I said, okay, well, you know, I guess these work. I mean, I don't the dollar store tests, I don't really see much reliability in them. But after I had like the other symptoms with the veins and then the veins going away, and I just said, all right, well, I have 5 of them. And I do have the more accurate first response tests coming. They're coming from Amazon. They'll be here tomorrow. And I'll have 6 of those. So I'll start using those on Saturday. So what I did is I couldn't wait. I said I was going to start with the dollar store tests on 8 days post IUI. I couldn't wait. I've been watching videos. As a matter of fact, I've been watching Artlet Hardy and all of her 2-year journey. You know, she's in Philly. I'm from Philly. So I was, you know, really, really into her journey. She's got a lot of videos. It took me about 3 days to really catch up with her journey, and I'm so proud of her. But she was testing in the evenings because she was saying that she would get darker lines in the evening. So I said, well, shoot, I'll give an evening test a try. So 7 days post IUI, around 11:30, I did a test with the dollar store brand. And I'm not going to say that it was like totally white, but I could see a shadow. Now, it wasn't a pink shadow. It was kind of grayish. I don't know if it's just because it was wet. I could see where the line is supposed to be. I don't know. It was definitely a shadow. I even tried taking a picture of it under flash, and you can't even see the shadow under there. So to me, that is negativo. So I tried it. I said if it was a shadow, maybe it'll be a little darker in the morning. So I tried it again. Well, I was going to test anyway. 8 days post IUI, I was going to test anyway. So I did it again, and on the second test, I could see the shadow. Still gray, not pink. Picture with a flash still didn't show up, even when I zoomed in. So, you know, high resolution photo zoomed in cannot see the shadow. So I'm saying definitely negative. I'm not going to stress out about it. I know it's still early. So, that's that. The other thing is, 2 days ago, I started developing cold feet. I I actually, like, I like wearing socks, except in the bed, right? If ever I get in the bed with socks, I end up like working them off my feet at some point at night because I just don't like the feel of socks in bed because I like cotton, soft socks when I wear them. And I want to say the day before yesterday, I felt like, my feet were a little cool. And I've been seeing a lot on different videos, different things that I've been reading in my research that, it's pretty important to fertility to keep your feet warm. So today, I felt like my feet were cold, like to the point where I had to wrap up in a blanket because my feet were like really cold. So I've got some nice hospital socks. You go to the hospital, you might be admitted or you have a procedure done or whatever. They give you those nice socks with the rubber so you don't slip on the floor and stuff. I like to take those home, wash them, and keep them, in case I want to walk around in socks or something. And they came in handy today. They came in handy today. So I had those on and totally warmed my feet up. So now even as I'm sitting here, I had the socks on. My feet are warm now. They aren't cold like they were earlier. So I've just worked them off my feet right now. So maybe if they get cold again, I'll probably put them back on. So in general, I just like to roll like barefoot. Sometimes you just like to be free. But that's pretty much where I am. Those are my symptoms. They're totally, for the most part, totally different from my last cycle. I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's just different cycle, different symptoms, I don't want to drive myself crazy with it, but I do, kind of want to compare, especially if this turns out differently. I don't know. I'm trying to be patient. I am pretty busy with work. I don't feel stressed out. That's good. But I am pretty busy with work. And that's been keeping me occupied. It makes the days go by faster. But I still have, 6 more days before beta test. So I won't know for sure until then. But in the meantime, tomorrow's 9 days post IUI. I'm going to test again. So basically, I'm going to test every day from here until my beta. And we'll see if this cycle is unsuccessful. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I might take a break, see about an appeal. I mean, not an appeal, but a pre-auth for IVF. And if my insurance will kick in for at least some of it, I could potentially be starting an IVF journey in the next 2 months. So, I don't know. I really am hoping and praying and asking for all good vibes and sticky baby dust and all that great stuff, because I really don't want to incur the cost of IVF. I just feel like I don't see the point in putting myself in a lot of debt, and then what resources would I have to take care of a little one? And all that I would need to do, daycare, babysitters, just everyday needs, I don't want to do that. It's irresponsible in my book. So, I want my little one, or I should say my little girl, but I will take a bundle any way he or she comes. But I will say I have my little hopes up for my little mini me, and she will be a mini me in all shapes and forms. You know, she's gonna be my travel buddy. I've been traveling solo for so long, and I'll finally have a buddy, and I'll be able to take her everywhere. So it's so cute. I was on a business trip, not last week, but the week before. And I saw the cutest thing. This lady was with her little girl, and they were dressed exactly alike, like black tank top, black tights, purple like sneakers. They both looked exactly the same. Their hair was very similar, and I just thought it was so cute. They were twinsies, so cute. Now I don't know that I would go that far, but I think, you know, my little girl, my little mini me is my little buddy, then, you know, why not be a little twinsies every now and again? So I'm so excited for something like that. And I think the people who know that I'm going through this journey are excited for me and with me. I've been extra quiet this time around, only because you know, I let a lot of folks know what I was going through last time. And then the only question they were interested in, are you pregnant yet? Are you pregnant yet? What do you know? Is it yay, nay? You know, you get tired of hearing a question. It's like, come on, folks. I told you 2 weeks. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. You know, oh, well, did you test? Are you testing? When do you take your test? I want to set an alarm on my phone, you know, and I know they're just being supportive, but it's hard to answer the question when you're trying to not think about it, not over dramatize it, not drive yourself crazy during a 2 week wait. So I was a lot more quiet about it this time around. I didn't really mention it to anybody unless they asked me. If they asked me, then I told them where I was. But unless they asked me, I didn't volunteer the information, only because, you know, I like not being badgered about whether I'm pregnant or not. I think folks are excited and they can't wait, but at the same time, this is all a big game of chance, you know, chance, timing, all that great stuff. So I don't want to be badgered about what I know yet. When I know, you will know. Just let me do what I do and leave it at that. So that's all I have. You know, if you have any questions for me about acupuncture, about IUI, about injectables with IUI, about having a black tube, I'm happy to answer any of them. That's all I have. I wanted to give you guys an update. I know it's been a while. You haven't heard from me since the day of my IUI, where you followed me to acupuncture, to IUI, and then back to acupuncture. So just wanted to give you an update on my 2 week wait, because I'm halfway through, a little bit more than halfway through, and let you know how I was feeling, and wish me baby dust, man. I feel like this one is it. I have really good feelings about this cycle, and I don't know, I think I'll be extra disappointed if it doesn't work, but I'm going to remain in the positive and you know, try to put all the good vibes out there, that all this weird, crazy stuff that's going on with me right now, the crazy temps, the vivid dreams, and the different symptoms that I've been having, I am going to hope that all of this leads to my little baby girl. Or a little baby boy, but hopefully a little baby girl. But until then, I will see you guys later. Enjoy. Talk to you in a few days. All right, bye-bye.